5, 4, 3, 2,
2,
1.
1. They missed the rest of it, but it was okay.
Injection, fellas.
Bum, 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 bum. What's up, everybody? Hello, hello. It is,
Hi,
what's
guys.
today? Today's Monday. It's Monday already.
Saturday.
It's Saturday.
don't
Welcome
know.
to our Saturday. Wait, it's not Saturday, you
It's a
liars.
Saturday wrap-up doesn't have the same ring to
And
it.
it doesn't. And Monday wrap
like
up. If you
I
take
like
the
Monday
M and you
wrap-up.
turn it upside down, it's a W. That's what I like about that.
Which is weird because the W is silent in
It is.
wrap-up.
Yeah, totally silent.
Unless it's actually a wrap-up.
It could be a wrap up. That's how Elmer Fudd would say it. You wascally wabbits. It's the Monday wrap up.
Yeah, but everything starts with W with him.
It's the wrap up.
That was good. That was good.
Lisa Baker, good to see you. How you guys
got
doing
a new
tonight?
voice.
That's man, we're good in here. So it's good to see you guys. Wonderful, wonderful, and welcome to Monday night. We're just getting the table cleared up here.
Happy Monday.
Eddie Beis had sent us some things that we really don't want to share with you guys publicly. We're gonna take those off the table real quick. That's top tier Patreon. Top tier Patreon stuff. If you really want to see the incredible stuff that Eddie Beis sent us, top tier Patreon. But we're going to take it off the table for now. We good? We good? We got everything gone? Everything's gone? Everything's good? Is it clear?
Has been the best part of your day?
Are we okay? We're good. There we go. What's up, everybody? Good to see you guys.
Yeah, you got to turn the
and thank you
camera
for joining
on
us. That's why I was waiting for you to clarify that we were good to go, but you just went into the question, which is fine. So it's good to see everybody, and thank you for spending some time with us. My name is Billy Floyd, and that's right, baby. We're the KitchenKillaz from Orlando, Florida, classified as a touring acoustic duo, crashing kitchens around the country. We do it every Friday, and we do it
for free.
That's true. So it's great to see everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. It is Monday, and this is your weekly wrap-up. We go over the last 6 to 7 days of events, things, days, people, interviews.
We did a few things.
Yeah, we had a busy week, man.
Well, I mean, every week's busy.
This was a 6-day out of 7-day week.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Really?
We had 2 weeks in a row that were almost seven days. It was pretty fantastic,
man. We are busy.
Groovy, baby, groovy. Nori, great to see you, and thank you guys for joining us tonight. We most certainly appreciate you spending some time with us. We're going to get through this wrap-up really cool because we have a very good friend of mine and a fantastic artist, a good friend of the community of Orlando.
Yes.
Eddie Beis will be joining us. He's a fantastic artist right out of Central Florida. We chatted a little bit. He's got some really, really great stuff, an Instagram page we're going to share with you guys as well. Some fantastic art, and I got to chat with him a little before the show just to make sure everything was working, audio, video. I'm really excited to bring Eddie on, man.
I was back there shoving a sandwich in my mouth.
That's okay. Sandwiches are good.
I chewed it also.
That's good.
To clarify.
Yeah, he didn't just put it there and then take it back out and put it back in the bag. Yeah.
I didn't spit it out.
That's good. That's good. What up, Jay Miller? Good to see you. Jay Miller in the house. Is that the banana foodie? I believe it is.
Hello.
That's right,
baby. I had a banana too.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, he doesn't like bananas.
No, he hates bananas. So, yeah, man, let's get to it. I shot you that image for the weekly wrap-up.
Yes.
Let's see if we can get it up on this screen right here. And we can chickadee chat about everything going on in the world of KitchenKillaz. Lynn Floyd, great to see you. Again, Nori, great to see you. I see Victoria Aponte. She is in the house tonight. So it's really good to see you here, love. Thank you for joining us. And we most certainly hope you guys have had a fantastic weekend. Most certainly, we started off last week, which with another Monday wrap-up, of course, because that's what we do. And last Monday, we got to sit down and chat with Jay Miller himself, the banana foodie, who's an absolutely incredible community activist out of Ocala, Florida, which is really crazy. This dude is chock full of facts.
He's a local person. He's a local business supporter.
Yeah,
like to the fullest.
Oh yeah, 100%.
As Billy said, he was chock full of knowledge. He dropped some bombs on me.
Yeah,
I was not expecting that, Mr. Miller.
Yeah,
Mr. Banana Foodie, with your banana thing that looks never mind.
He was a banana gun.
Yeah.
So man, we were really fortunate to chat with Jay last Monday. With a fantastic interview, one of my favorite thus far. He was just so knowledgeable about the local community. We had a lot in common with a lot of artists that I've worked with as well, which was really cool.
We learned a lot about Ocala.
Yeah, he invited us to Ocala to make our own wine. Which I'm super stoked about. That's going to be really cool. And a good friend of ours, EJ Neves, also known as the artist of Ness, and him have also scheduled an interview together, which is really great. EJ Neves is fantastic. I met him here in Orlando, an incredible artist, and I'm really glad that they were able to meet up and they got to schedule their own little interview, which is fantastic because EJ and Jay together are just absolutely incredible people.
Does that say Jennifer Angel Chocolat?
Chilcote.
Chilcote.
Yeah, Jennifer Angel Chilcote. Oh yeah, what's up, Alfred? Good to see you. Good to see you, Jennifer. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight. So yeah, man, we had a really good time last Monday. Thank you to Jay Miller and the Banana Foodie for joining us. We wrapped it up with a little In Front of You, which is a KitchenKillaz, one of our latest KitchenKillaz originals. Tuesday, we were on the It's All Fine and Dangy podcast with Dan and Angie, which was super, super cool. We were really, really excited to do that with them, which was really awesome because we got to go through, I think we used Skype for that one. We used Skype for that one. We got to play some tunes. We got to hang out. We got to see how Dan and Angie are doing throughout this incredible, crazy time in everybody's life right now. But it was really, really awesome to be able to sit down with Dan and Angie and spend some time with them. Really cool interview. And I had sat down with them once before, but the great Commodore wasn't able to join me because he was on safari in Africa hunting kimono dragons, which I didn't even know there were kimono dragons in Africa. But apparently that's where the Commodore was. But this past Tuesday, the Commodore was able to join me, and we got to rock out for Dan and Angie together. I'm going to go ahead and throw this one up there. Boom! Kitchen J is the coolest by the amazing Ian Thompson.
Ian.
Look at that hair. It's fantastic.
He's so much fun.
So last Tuesday was really great, man. There's Dan Fox right there. What's up, Dan? Good to see you, my dude, and thank you guys for joining us tonight. Please let us know how everything looks and sounds. We did a little bit of, a little bit of updates this weekend as normal. So we wanted to make sure everything's still looking and sounding really good for you guys. A huge shout out to Dan and Angie for having us last Tuesday. What a fantastic time it was spending with you guys. I love their energy. They're really, really great. Like both of them are just fantastic.
I still want to be in their podcast room. I want to be in their studio.
So cool, dude. It's
so
cool.
So cool.
Yeah, man. It was really, really awesome. It was such a great experience. And they had the day that I had gone there for that interview was the same day that I came to look at this house. And so when I got there, I'm looking around and there's all this like mobile smart items everywhere.
And you were
and Dan and I just connected right away and started talking about that, which was freaking crazy. Whoa, bro. What did you do? What is going on? What is happening? There we go. Oh my God. Oh, they're angry. They are angry. Excellent. Well, if it sounds great, then you can hear Luke and Leia losing it for you, Lisa Baker, because we told them that you were on the way over here, and now they're excited, and they think everybody coming down the road is you. So not very nice. But yeah, man, it was really great meeting Dan and meeting Angie for the first time. It was really awesome. Dan's house is chock full of smart devices, which was super cool. So it was really cool. They're just a couple minutes away from us, which was really fantastic. So not only was it cool to be able to sit down and meet both of those guys, but to be able to pick Dan's intelligent, smart brain, which is chock full of awesome. Really, really good. So it was a fun interview. We had a lot in common. Had a lot to talk about. And then when we grabbed the great Commodore and we jumped in here, him and Angie kept hitting on all cylinders as well, which was also really cool. So there's a shameless plug right for you. Boom.
So this is really funny.
I love funny stories.
Guess what they were barking at?
The pizza guy.
Absolutely nothing.
Probably not. Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
That sounds right. That sounds about right. They just they're causing trouble. There's one troublemaker right there, Leia. Always starting trouble.
They don't get to bark very often. So
what?
Like, you know what? I'm gonna do it right now.
They get to bark all the time. So Jay Miller, I said, "What's up, Russell Short? Good to see you, my dude.
Hey, bud.
Thanks for hanging out, man. Russell Short, a fantastic barbecue chef in his own right.
We were
out of Polk County.
We were just reminiscing of the party that we did.
That's right, where we saw his friend give us the gator.
Yeah,
he did the gator. That was terrifying. I'll never be able to get that out of my head. So yeah, man. Russell Short, what's up? Jay Miller says, I want to cook for Jay and Billy soon. Jay, let's line up a Friday, brother. We would love to have you as a featured chef on the show. It'd be fantastic.
I can't believe he just said that.
Really? You can't believe he just said that?
Well, I'm really excited he just said that.
Me too.
Let's do that. Yes. Jay Miller, yes.
So last Tuesday was cool. We got to hang out with Dan and Angie. This past Wednesday, we put up a poll, and we played the winners this past hump day, baby. And we had our really good friend Reese from EMS Mobile Detailing joined us for the show, which was really good because not only did we talk about the mobile detailing that we have, but we talked about his new sanitized services that he's offering for businesses and residential businesses as well, residential areas, commercial areas, whatever it is, to battle this COVID that's going on. So he offers weekly and monthly services where you can come into your place of business. It is a during the hours thing. It's all food safety. It can be done with the doors open. It only takes a very, very short period of time. You don't have to close the doors. You don't have to evacuate anybody. It doesn't have a crazy smell to it, but you can keep everybody safe. And he does have that reoccurring service that you can sign up for. So a huge shout out to Reese for stepping it up and being being motivational. He's exactly the kind of person that we'd love to have on the show because this guy has evolved and changed every single time he's been faced with an issue.
Yep.
Every single time he's faced with a problem, every single time he's faced with a speed bump, Reese overcomes it. Not only does he overcome it, he goes way ahead and forms a business. Business number 2, which is so crazy.
So 2 things. Madison, hi, how are you? It's good to see you in here. I know you know about the dogs barking at absolutely nothing.
That's right.
And also we have another volunteer chef.
I saw that. Boom.
I just wanted to vocalize that real quick.
Oh,
Mr. Short, get over here.
I mean, not right now. I mean, you can come over here right now. We'll never say no to barbecue.
Soon.
But yeah, man. So let us know, Russell. We'll reach out to you, man. We got some dates, of course, that we'd love to have you on, man. If you wouldn't mind joining us, we'd love to feature you in anything that you wanted to cook. That'd be absolutely fantastic. So between Russell Sort and Jay Miller, these are 2 titans of their own industry in their own right, which is fantastic, man. Fantastic. So yes, this past Tuesday we were hanging out with Dan and Angie. This past Wednesday we played your Hump Day winners, which was It a Dream and Lay in Disarray. First place took the top seed by 1 vote. So thank you guys very much for voting this past Tuesday and Wednesday for that one. And we got to chat with Reese from EMS Mobile Detailing, which is also now EMS Sanitation Services.
That's right.
Yeah, sanitization services, where they sanitize things. Not sanitation, but sanitization. Yeah, 2 completely different things.
I think it's a verb instead of...
Yeah.
We're not really sure. Moving right along.
I don't think Reese is sure either. I think he actually changed his Facebook page the very next day.
He's probably got it figured out.
Yeah, he updated it the very next day and messaged me. He's like, "Hey man, I updated your Facebook page or my Facebook page. Thank you for the recommendations." We were like, "Yeah, no problem, dude." He's like, "You guys always keep me on point. That's what we're here for."
And we can't even help it. We just call it like we see him.
That is true, man. So we did a little flip the pick. We played 3 a.m. By Matchbox 20, which is off Yourself or Someone Like You, which is a fantastic album. Huge shout out to Matchbox 20. So we got to rock that. Thursday we prepped for our Friday show, which was super cool because it was catered by Tornatore's Cafe and Pizzeria. Do you remember what we had, sir?
Yes.
What did we had?
We had the eggplant thing.
The rollatini.
The rollatini. We had lasagna.
Boom. Lasagna.
We had the Tornatore's tortellini.
Tortellini.
All right.
Yeah, that's how he said it. I kept saying Tornatore's tortellini, but it's tortellini tornatore. And
I know the ingredients.
What you got?
It was cheese-filled tortellini.
Boom. Hand rolled.
Oh, they were
handmade.
They were so awesome. And it had some peas and some ham, and it was doused with some homemade Alfredo.
Boom, perfect, nailed it. And we also had a nice big pizza pie. Pepperoni, of course, because you can't go to a pizzeria and not bring back pizza. That's just crazy.
Had a couple pieces of that too.
That's right. And they supplied us with incredible bread rolls as well, which was really great, man. So a huge shout out to Denny and his entire team. Jason Wolf, their executive chef, which was really incredible. Thank you so much, Tornatore's, for providing us with so much incredible, fantastic food. We also had some 2 friends in the house. We had Kelly Harrison and Mike Conway. Josh Mullis was our presenter of the night, which was very, very good. He did a wonderful job, which was really cool to see him do that. His display and his portrayal was awesome.
He had the hand movements down.
Yeah, he had the hand movements. He had everything separate. He
could have been a Vanna White.
He covered the name of each dish with a piece of cardboard, and then he did the reveal for what it was. And then when he tricked us, he revealed the tortellini twice. He's like, I'm just kidding. It's my tortellini.
Just like tortellini.
So yeah, man, we had a really great time last week. This past Saturday, we got to hang out with Dan and Angie again. We played a fundraiser this past Saturday. We were able to join them for baby Evangeline this past weekend. She's not yet officially announced the total, but apparently together we were able to raise thousands of dollars to help this family, which is absolutely fantastic. It was really great seeing Dan and Angie in person again, which was really awesome. Yeah. Just really great people, super, super helpful.
I love chatting with them.
Yeah, they're just good, man. We had some really good conversation. So we did a little bit of a mixture.
Good waffles.
Oh yeah, from something waffle.
Something waffles.
Or somewhere waffles.
Somewhere
waffles. They're out of Georgia.
The surfboard.
I was like,
broken.
Man, are you guys local? Or are you from this area? He's like, no, we're actually from Georgia. I'm like, man, you guys are just touring through Florida. He's like, yep, we just keep booking every single day, different events every single day. They were in Daytona today. I was like,
How
super
about
cool,
that?
man. So
That's
a
cool.
huge shout out to Dan and Angie for having us. We really hope that we were able to do our part in helping baby Evangeline raise as much money as possible.
Yes, yes.
She most certainly is battling, her and her family are battling a very aggressive type of cancer. And that is pretty much what all of this is going towards. So we were able to bring so many people together, a lot of different artists and creators. We even hung out with Popcorn Will, the
Popcorn
Popcorn
Will.
King. He reached out to us on Facebook, wants to know if we would
And
MC
and
and play his wedding.
referred to
Yeah,
himself as the
the
Popcorn
Popcorn
King.
King.
Will.
Yep. He's like, hey guys, if you remember me, I'm the Popcorn King from this past event. I'm like, yeah, baby, we're just handing out nicknames left and right. So he asked if we would MC his reception and then play music. He said, you guys don't have to play the entire time, but we think you guys would really kill it. We think you guys would have a really great time. And I was like, man, we're not much of being masters of ceremony, but I'm totally down to jam some jams at a reception, man. That'd be a really
we
good
like
time.
microphones.
We dig microphones. That is very true. So a huge shout out to Dan and Angie for having us. That's right, Dan Fox. He is my popcorn angel. That's right, baby. And we all
For those of you that haven't seen us at a live show, like an event kind of venue, it gets kind of crazy.
Everybody's getting nicknames.
Everybody gets nicknames. Everybody gets called out by Mr. Billy here, and I just stand there in awe of the randomness that just ensues.
Dude, the
It's
one
so
woman
much
who
fun.
just held her hand up, and I went, I don't think she gave me a high five. I think she was saying, "We're done with you." That's pretty much what's going on.
She just kept walking.
That's right. We
great.
also added a waffle item to the food truck Somewhere Waffles called the strawberry cotton candy waffle, which they actually didn't have. But on the top of their truck, it looked like a big cotton candy machine.
You ever seen a food truck?
Yeah.
The exhaust, like
Yeah, like that
thing,
huge round
it
silver
looks,
exhaust.
It looks like a
It
cotton
looked like a
candy
cotton
thing.
candy machine.
So
had
it was like,
they
and
had
then it
all
lowers
these
down into the truck, and it spins, and you just hold the stick there, and the cotton candy appears on the
That's right.
stick,
And
and then you take the
you
stick
put it
out,
on
and it's
the
like
waffle. That's right. That's it. And you
And
take the
then-
cotton candy, you
and
put
then
it on the
spreads
waffle.
Cotton
You
candy
get a little
smell
agave,
everywhere.
like warm agave, and you douse the
Ah.
top of it so it like melts just lines of the
Oh my
cotton candy, but
goodness.
leaves it fluffy on the waffle. Doesn't
None
that
of
sound
that's
good?
true.
None of that is
None
real.
of it.
They don't have that at all. But how? And they even played along. They were like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
What
strawberry
were
cotton candy
they had
waffles.
chocolate chip cotton candy, chocolate chip cotton candy. They had chocolate chip waffles, Reese's peanut butter waffles. They had the pimento.
The pimento
That
cheese
was fantastic.
That killed it.
They had the whipped cream
Oh, yeah.
waffles. They had just a regular waffle, plain waffle. And if you liked their Instagram page, you got $1 off right
That
at the
was great.
register.
What a great idea.
Yeah, that was really, really good, man.
We gotta. How do we?
We'll work that
How
in.
do we steal that?
So a huge shout out to Somewhere Waffles for being there, man. What a fantastic evening that was. It was a really fun
Can we
day.
tag them?
Everybody had a lot of fun,
Tag them.
which was really great. It seemed that everybody had a lot of fun. Dan and Angie, we had people singing along, even the Pop-Tart song. You know, we ended it with a
Oh, yeah.
Pop-Tart song, and it was so much fun. Like, what a fantastic event. It was really nice. A huge shout out to Dan and Angie because they made that so easy for us. They had our
Yeah.
space set up. We pulled up. They had a fan ready for us. They even went and got us a second fan. They put my Red Bull on ice. They grabbed us some waters. Like, they were super
multiple
incredible.
times. Like,
Yeah.
do you need anything? Do you need anything? And I think I monopolized on that. Every
Oh yeah,
time.
absolutely. It was so much fun. Everybody was having a good time. We got a lot of laughs and a lot of feedback. People were talking back to us. And then
Yeah.
we even met Dallas, the new KitchenKillaz super fan.
Oh,
And she was probably maybe
super
maybe
cute.
four or
Yeah.
5 years old. She had like
Yeah.
sparkly shows that lit up.
Yeah.
Like she got a little face paint and she's walking up and she's got a flattened empty popcorn bag and a pen in her hand. And I've been doing this for a while, so I know it's going to happen, but I still want to let them make the request. So she comes up and she's so cute and she's just standing in front of me and the Commodore, just like looking up. And the mom goes, "Go ahead, ask them for their autograph." And this cute little tiny 4 or 5-year-old boy's like, "Hey guys, can I have your autograph?" And we're like, "Oh, so cute." So-
Another stellar interpretation of someone else's
Yeah,
voice.
Thank you very much. I'm working on it. So we got to do that. We made a little bit of a super fan, which is super cool. And she was so nice. She was so sweet. Her parents are really, really grateful, man. They were really, really nice. And they even snuck up at the end of the show to grab a little picture, which was really great. So a huge shout out
That
to
was fun.
Dallas. She was such an inspiration. It was so cool. Like, I love when little kids walk by and they just stare at the guitars. Like, little kids will just come by and they're just like, and it's just,
And then they do
you're-
one of these, and you're like,
yeah. Oh man, and I will say this: the boys are different than the girls. When the little girls come up, they don't want to. They just look at the guitar.
Yeah.
They look at the guitar and they ask questions. The boys come up and they're like, "Rah!" and they just want to grab the strings and hit the guitar and touch the guitar.
That was definitely true on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember he had monster trucks on his shirt, and he had a shark He had a shark on his face
Oh,
and
yeah.
monster
He
trucks
was a
on his
manly
shirt.
man.
Yeah, he was digging it, man.
He was a manly
Lot
man.
of machismo in that little dude, and he was probably 2, maybe 3. But we
And
had
he was gonna touch that guitar.
Oh yeah, he was going to, and that was cool, man.
That
He
sunburst blue, baby.
yeah, that's it. It's very attractive. You're just like, but we had such a good time. So huge shout out to Dan and Angie for inviting us. We had a really great time. We met Joellen as well, and she was helping put on the entire event. And this woman she's badass, man. That's a different story for a different time. But I gotta say, man, it was really great working with everybody on Saturday. Thank you very much to Dan and Angie for having us. We most certainly appreciate it. We got to play 2 long sets. We did some covers, some originals, and man, we had some people laughing, which was really good. I love when people have a really good time and they're laughing and they're joking around, and then people like the Popcorn King use their own nickname that we gave them over the weekend to reference to themselves.
Well, I mean, I think he was trying to just make sure that we remembered.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, bro.
Yeah, but
like,
we knew his name's Will.
We gave you a nickname. Well,
Yeah.
Billy gave you a nickname.
Yeah.
We're gonna remember.
He could have been like, "Hey, I'm Will. I was selling the popcorn," but he didn't say that.
Probably. Is that how you remember people?
I'm the Popcorn King.
You just give.
He's my popcorn angel. Oh, man, so yes, if you invite us to play a live show, please understand that you're not just getting music. You are being warned right now.
It's entertainment, and not just for people who've never heard it before. It's entertaining for me too.
We make it up as we go along. Sometimes we have no idea what we're gonna do, but we had a good time this past Saturday. So again, a huge shout out to Dan and Angie for having us, man. We really appreciate it. We had such a good time. It was a beautiful day outside. We got to see some little baby goats running around, and a very angry goat that a couple times kind of
It was donkeys.
the angry donkey.
I don't think he was angry. I think that's just how he talks.
Man, he was vocal. He only did it twice. When we first got there, I thought somebody was in.
That's pretty much what it was.
But it didn't stop for like
just
30 seconds. It was so loud when we first got there. He did it, and I was like, "Oh man, he's looking for mama and baby," because they were like a little further away in a different part of the yard, and they were fenced off.
Standing at the fence, he's like, "Come over here."
So then the Commodore, we're loading up. Now we're done. We're loading everything in, and he does it again. And the Commodore goes, "I was pretty sure he was going to do that during the show because it was thought he so loud." Oh man, but it was really cool to be there. And I got to tell you, man, they have some incredible furniture, like remaindered furniture, and just some really old school kind of like I don't want to say kind of rustic. I want to go with rustic. Like it was really nice, and they had great prices. So for those of you that are looking to antique, rustic, some that you can tell that they had kind of done up themselves, some that were donated or sold to them that are just trying to give away and sell, which was fantastic. And if you want to, Dan and Angie actually picked up a piece from another yard sale, and they had Joellen, who was there that day, do the finishing on their furniture. So we were surrounded by creators and influencers. It was really, really cool to be there. And they seemed so thankful. Everybody was so appreciative. And we were very appreciative as well. So thank you very much. We even got to sell a couple shirts, which was really great. Dan and Angie picked up some KitchenKillaz shirts, which were awesome. We got a couple business cards out, and we might be playing at the Popcorn King's wedding as he marries the Popcorn Queen.
That's awesome.
Oh my God.
I need to pick up another red
King
shirt.
And Popcorn Queen. I'm so excited. So yeah, man, we had a really good week. Thank you guys very much for being a part of it. Shares, likes, all that good stuff.
Thank you so much.
To Jen Hogan, to Shelly Wheeler, to everybody working really hard behind the scenes. Terry McCarvey, and Kyle Nunez. Thank you guys so much for everything you guys continue to do. It's huge. It's most certainly inspirational and influential, and we hope that we are doing you justice. And I got to say a huge shout out to Shelly Wheeler and Mama Wheeler, because that Bose this past weekend kicked serious ass. That Bose tower was incredible.
It kicks serious ass every time we use it.
It was awesome,
and
man.
I mentioned this on Saturday. Every time we use the Bose system, every single time, someone comes up to us and says, "Hey, I can hear that all the way from."
Yeah, man, the music sounds great. We can hear it all the way at the entrance of the event.
Yeah.
And that's what I was kind of worried about, because we were in the barn, and I'm thinking, man, it's just going to hit the food truck and bounce right back.
Yeah,
you know, but then Dan came up. He was like, "Hey, man, we can hear you guys super clear all the way down at the end of the event." And I was like, "Man, that's fantastic."
Yeah, Bose don't mess around, man.
No, Bose don't play around. And this is the Series 1. So a huge shout out to Bose for creating the Bose Tower. And the Series 1 that we have, I think they're on Series 3 right now. But the Series 1 that we have is absolutely fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. So that was our week, ladies and gentlemen. How was your Sunday, sir? You did some traveling?
Did I?
Yeah, that was yesterday.
I did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How'd it go? Everything smooth, nice and easy?
Well, I was originally quoted a $147 part with $450 in labor.
That's like $600 day right
Then
there.
I called a good friend of mine, Jeff. Jeff,
What up,
are
Jeff?
you in here on YouTube? Are you watching? Jeff is a phenomenal mechanic. He's been doing it's his passion. He loves working on cars.
I'd like to have him on as a
So
guest.
he even if he doesn't know how to do it, he'll look it up on YouTube. He's like, oh yeah, I got that. I can do it in less time than that guy. So he's like, oh, the part's only $21. Just come over. I'll get it done in a couple hours. So I get over there.
So wait,
and
you
it
went
was
from a $145 part to it
a
wasn't that
21
part to a $21 part.
No, that same part was $21.
Talk about the markup.
Well, that's how they make their money.
I'm about to
the,
call 'em bitch
The
out.
labor pays for the shop, and they make their money on parts.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Whatever.
I don't want to pay that though.
$600 is crazy.
So when we get over there, it's a lot of labor. It's a lot of undoing things and taking things off. I'm like,
Sure.
let's just make sure that they're not full of crap and that this is actually broken. So we looked at it. It wasn't broken.
Were they full of crap?
They were full of crap.
They were full of crap.
They were full of
I
crap.
really want to call a
So
bitch out right now.
we bought a piece that was $1.99. $1.99 for a little seal on the spool valve.
Wow.
I don't know what that does. He explained it to me. Still don't know. But we replaced the spool valve. Took about an hour. We hung out for a little bit, played some pool, and I came home.
That was it.
That was it.
Nice. That sounds like a productive day, and it saved you a lot of money.
Yeah.
And a lot of stress and a lot of time.
And I got to see Mom.
And you got to see
Hi,
Mom, and you got to bring home some good greens as well. Would you bring home this time? Some watercress, some arugula.
Same as last time. We got a good amount of kale. We got some arugula, chard, bok choy, and watercress.
Nice.
Lots of watercress. The watercress was just like it. Like
is that the spicy one? Is that the one that has a
Yeah.
little bit? That stuff's good.
There's going to be a lot in the salad tomorrow.
I'm down, baby. 100%. So, yeah, man, it was a really good week for us. We hope you guys had a fantastic week as well, which brings us to the wrap up. And that's where we are. So we have one song to play, and then we're going to chat with our good friend Eddie Beis, who is working diligently.
Biggity Beis.
Who's working diligently at his desk right now, creating some incredible things.
Diligent desk.
Eddie is an incredible person, man. It was really great. Just in the few minutes that I got to talk to him before this show, I learned so much about Eddie, and it was just layers and layers and layers of inspiration and motivation. Like talking about being resourceful and changing the game, and inspiring other people. And one of the best things that he said to me in the previous conversation was, sometimes I work on these drawings and I work on these creations, and they're never really done, but I can kind of play it off. And I would not be able to tell as a consumer. I look at some of the stuff that he makes, I'm like, man, this is fantastic. And it's kind of like music, like Walking Man, we still evolve and we change. Every time we play it, it changes a little bit. And I wrote that song back in 2004. So we're talking about a song that's 16 years old. It continues to grow and continues to evolve. And I imagine artists also look at their artwork sometimes in a very, very similar way, that it might not ever really be done. I can put one more dot here, one more line here, a little bit more shadow there, a little more color here. But at some point, you have to stop.
Until you frame it and put glass over it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, dang.
And I can't. I'm going to break the glass.
He's shaking his head. Yes. In the green room. Yeah.
So, yeah, we got Eddie Beis hanging out in the green room, baby. We're going to rock a little Keep the Wolves Away from Uncle Lucius real quick. Then we're going to chat with our good friend Eddie. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We are the KitchenKillaz. My name is Billy Floyd, and that is...
The Commodore.
That's right, baby. This is Uncle Lucius Keep the Wolves Away. Hope you guys are having a fantastic night. You are unmuted, and you are affected.
I was... Yeah. With an E.
Oh, yeah. My first breath with muddy Brazos spills into the Gulf of Mexico, where the skylines colored by chemical plants to put bread on the table of the working man, where the working man does his best to provide safety and shelter for kids and a wife. Give a little love and soul every day, making overtime to keep the wolves away. Oh, Billy 13 when the company man tried to dig my daddy's grave. It happened on a French-owned tanker ship spilling poison in the Galveston Bay, where the liquid fire filled his lungs and his eyes silenced any more cries. Cold in the grip of death, sting and pain, he fought like hell to keep the wolves away. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. For the next few years, Dad was sick as a dog, but he made a recovery just to spite the odds. Settlement came and we moved out of town where the sky isn't heavy with refinery clouds. Yeah, he's still alive, he's doing good, he's in his 50s, but the money's running out. He's pinching for pennies, so going for broke with every song I've made, 'cause now it's my turn to keep the wolves away. Yes. All right, baby. Well done, well done, well done, Commodore. Sounding good. That was a little Keep the Wolves Away by Uncle Lucius. So thank you guys for joining us for this wrap up. Now we have made it to the creme de la creme. That's right. That's right. We have made it to the cherry on your whipped cream, babies. That's right. Think of any other innuendo you would like to think of, because he is a man.
He is the winner.
He's very, very good looking. He is an amazing person. He looked. Here is the winner. Yes.
You do it so much better than I do.
He's an incredible artist, a good friend of ours, and soon to be a fantastic friend of yours, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring him in the shop, baby. Our good friend Eddie Beis. What up, Eddie? How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, man. How you guys doing?
Dude, man, we are phenomenal. We
We're
saw
having a
you.
good time.
We saw you in the green room just working away, brother. What do you work? Were you working on anything? Are you able to share it with us? Is this a commission? What do you got going?
Sure. Let me show you. It's not a commission,
Uh-oh,
believe
is
it
that
or not. This is from
I know that
Mystery
guy.
Sketch.
Hey,
Right? See that?
look at you go.
How fast?
So,
You
okay,
did-
now
you
wait.
did-
Okay, so
you did all that?
this wasn't all done. This was done the night that I met Billy at Mystery Sketch. How many years ago was that?
No.
I don't know. But that was just
yeah, I think so, man. I think it was about a little over a year ago.
Yeah, if not more. So that's the original sketch, and you can see the blue lines because I was working with a little color that night. And then what I did was I took some grayscale Prismacolors and kind of worked them in from the sketches from that night. That one's a little darker. It's not as good as this one, but those are old sketches because we were talking about Mystery Sketch, and I started to think, where are those, forgotten, unfinished sketches from that night? I wonder. And sure enough, I was able to find one. So there you go.
Man,
Yeah.
that is so cool. That was a really fun night. I'm glad you kind of you talked about that,
Yeah.
Eddie, because I think that's how we met. And it was really a true test of, in my experience, from somebody going in as a guest. You're surrounded by these artists, and they do different sketches over different periods of time, and it's super challenging for the artist. So like we were talking about that, I think in the very beginning, they kind of staggered up. You do like a couple sketches within like a minute or so.
Eddie, tell us about your experience with
Oh,
that.
it's crazy.
So yeah, so it's exactly what Billy was saying. It's kind of like a stretching of the muscle for the artist, right? So first of all, any artist that's looking to get started out there, I don't know if there's anybody watching that even wants to start drawing or do anything like that, but really a good rule of thumb is to always draw from life. You can learn from pictures and books and stuff like that, but you want to get in the same room with another human being if you're trying to draw them to learn how to draw a figure, a human being. So it's a good exercise to get in with models like the people that go to Mystery Sketch that Plinio will book. Plinio Pinto? What's his last name? Oh my God, I'm blanking on his last name. But he runs Mystery Sketch out of the Falcon, and he brings in these awesome cosplayers, one of which is Billy. And you start sketching that night to warm up with 1-minute sketches, which usually are just gesture drawings. It looks, I mean, it could be a mess depending on the person's style. It's just squiggly lines or sketchiness or whatever. And as you warm up and you kind of loosen up, you get to longer and longer poses where you can define and work in and even look even months later, right? Yeah, I had basically was the framework of the original drawing, and then I could come in and kind of think about whatever it was I put there that night. I thought, okay, so this was kind of how it looked, and I know what a guitar looks like, and I can see Billy's face, so I can kind of work it together, and then you put it together at the end of the, at the end of the thought, let's say. But yeah, it's
So
basically
as
it's
we were
just
talking about, so as
go
we're
ahead.
talking about like a song that's never really finished, and we keep adding and adding and adding to it, you grabbed a piece that you finished a while ago, finished, and then kept adding to it.
Yeah,
That's why you were
over
smiling.
over a year ago.
I see
Yeah,
ya.
over a year ago, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
super cool. And what he's talking about, like about stretching the artist's muscles, like when you talk about doing a minute or a 2 minute, like it's just a small wireframe because they drew it as fast as they can, and it's like hurry up and do this and do this, and then you have like a longer piece, 5 to 6 minutes, and then you have like a 10 to 12 minutes. And you just these artists, and they have all their different types of things. Some people are using different types of pens and pencils and oils and crayons and just all this different stuff. So you have all of these artists that are just stretching these artistic muscles like a quick fire. Go, 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 go. Draw. Okay, done. Okay, draw. Okay, done. And they try to get as much done as possible. It's just so cool to see that.
And it's by design. I mean, I think, and at least I'm only speaking for myself, and I know some artists don't have this problem, but there can be times where you get overly precious with something. It's the same. I guess it's the same feeling that gets you when you don't want to let something go. Let's say if you're still holding on to that song, right? Well, I'm holding on to this drawing, and I don't want to give it away, or I don't want to show it to anybody because maybe I'm thinking that it's not that great, or whatever the case. But when you're drawing a minute sketch or 2-minute sketch, you don't have time to think. It's like, hey, you've got a minute, go. All right, go. And then you're drawing. You're not thinking, you're just drawing. So you kind of you blow past that wall, that blockade, that thought of being overly precious. And sometimes you'll see it. If you see somebody drawing, you'll see that guy who painstakingly takes every single line and is so focused and doesn't want to mess anything up. And part of the reason is messing up. there's I think it was Matisse. He was talking about his artwork, and when you see some of his artwork, you can see some of the extra lines that are in there, some sketch lines, and he left them in on purpose. It was called something in Italian. I want to call it something like pentimento or something like that. But basically, the idea of it was he wanted people to see his mistakes. He wanted you to abandon perfection. Perfection is, if not boring, it's unrealistic, right? You basically those things that
Unattainable.
make, yeah, unattainable. Exactly. So the little sketch marks and the things that are in there, the little blue lines that are in that drawing or whatever, that's something that somebody would appreciate. That's something that you see that makes you realize that not every picture has to look photoreal perfect. There's style and there's grace and there's all kinds of beauty in the imperfection. So
What I like about the timing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like it eliminates the inner critic that you're like, oh my God, this sucks, and like you don't even you skip right past that, and it's just create, create,
Yeah, it's
create,
almost like
create,
you
and
don't
then
have
it lets
time.
up.
Yeah, you don't
yeah,
have time to critique your work so much where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, let me redo this, let me redo this. It's like, no, the goal is like in that minute, you're done. In that two
yeah.
minutes, you're finished. So whatever you have at the end of that 2 minutes, that's it. You have to learn to let go and then move on to the next piece. which is
Yeah,
super
drop
cool.
your
Not only
eraser.
is it like a practice for your skill, but I think it's a mental exercise as well to learn to say, okay, cool, I have to move on from this piece to this new piece. And Polino doesn't play around. Like when it's done, it's done. And they like, okay, different pose. Okay, because that's what they do. It's like quick fire. You do a pose for about a minute, and then he'll go, okay, next pose, and then you change. And then a minute later, okay, next pose, and then you change. So it's also on the model because the model has to pose perfectly as close as they can. So when you start to get into 10 minutes and you're a model and you pick a pose, you have to stay like that.
So Eddie, what was your favorite sexy Billy pose?
No.
Sexy Billy pose. You know, honestly, there was one that night. So, okay, so every night you have these challenges, right? And the time gets longer and longer, as Billy was saying. So, midway through the night, you have a 15-minute pose, which usually has a theme applied to it. And you have the pose, and then the artist has to work the theme in. So, whatever the theme may be, if it's, if it's in October, then chances are it's a Halloween theme or something. You have to work in a pumpkin or whatever the case may be, something like that. So, I don't know what the theme was that night. But I do remember that I drew Billy because he was dressed as John Constantine, the DC Comics character. I drew him floating his like a glass of scotch or something, and I wish I could find that now. It's probably on my Instagram somewhere. But I think my favorite of the night was that pose because I'm pretty sure I won the contest that night with that picture.
You did.
So that was a cool memory. Yeah, it was one of those things where I was like, that's the one. That's the one that, is memorable.
It was a and coming from a person who's done, I've done some modeling and some cosplaying, but it's photos, so you chill for a second, they take a picture. You chill for a second, you take a picture. But as being the model that has to stand and hold that pose, it's most certainly it's a focus thing, it's a muscle thing, it's a balance thing, because not only is it me trying to keep this pose, but it's all of the other artists that are intently focused on you.
So Eddie, have you ever experienced a model that like they start in one pose and you like start drawing and then they change poses slowly and you're like, damn, you're messing up my drawing, man.
Often. A lot of people get into it not knowing what they're getting into, right? They may come from a photography background and they're used to jumping from pose to pose quickly because, shutter click and move. So they're not used to holding still. Yeah. And I've had one friend in particular. His name's Ralph Cudworth. I don't know if you've met, but he dressed up like Darth Vader, right? And it was kind of like it was a red shirt, black suit deal with a Darth Vader mask on, and he had a heavy-duty, real-life kind of professional looking lightsaber. So I usually I've actually had the opportunity. A couple of times, Polino has asked me to host, which has been really cool. It gives you no time to draw, but you get to hang out and interact with the model and all that stuff. And I've always told the models, hey, don't choose anything in which, especially the long poses, don't choose anything in which you have your arms up, where you're having to maintain any kind of framework, right, where your arms will start to get weaker, because in a 10-minute pose, you wouldn't believe it, but 2 minutes in, your arms will start to drop. So of course, he's a guy who's in shape, and he thought to himself, you know what, I'm going to give these guys something cool. So he takes his lightsaber and he goes right down the pike, right? He's pointing at one of the artists and he's holding it out like this. And I said, Ralph, buddy, he said, yeah, no, I got it. And sure enough, 5 minutes in, he's sweating, man. He's underneath that mask and it's starting to drop. And he did his best to hold it up, but it was tough. So, and that's by choice. There are plenty of folks who, unfortunately, hey, look, here's one of them. So yeah, so there are plenty of folks who unfortunately don't realize just how long they have to hold still. Or, I mean, I guess it's kind of like a treadmill minute, right? If you've ever heard that term, like a minute goes by really quick until you're doing something really strenuous. So some of those folks, unfortunately, yeah, they get into a pose and they don't realize, and all of a sudden they got to go scratching their nose, or something starts to twitch, and you start moving, and
that's
you do the best you can.
That's when things start to itch. That's when you get that itch right on the tip of your nose Like when
Yeah,
you
I don't
know
wanna
you can't move.
I don't wanna be that guy.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Like
I don't wanna pose.
so it was very interesting, and I was fortunate because I knew a couple people that had done it before, so I reached out for some tips, like, hey man, give me some tips and some tricks. And one of the things they said with the long pose, don't pick anything where you have an arm out or you have a leg up or you're putting yourself in a difficult situation. And there was one where I had done this and I had my arm up and I matched my fingertip with something on the back of the wall, and I just made sure to keep my fingertip like right there. And if I didn't keep paying attention, little by little, your arm just naturally kind of starts to droop a little bit. So I'm
Yeah.
like, nope, right there, just focus, just focus. It was incredible. There was
Hey, you
one
did an
that I
amazing
was
job,
showing,
man. Yeah.
like this one right here with like up against the wall, leaning up against the wall there, like my right leg was on fire because like even though you're leaning back, my shoes
Yeah,
were kind of
no.
slick, so they're sliding down the wall. it,
Yeah.
it was it was a really good exercise. It was really really fantastic because again, you
Yeah.
have all of these artists that are watching what you're doing and they're recording it, and you want to give
Yeah.
them the absolute best because they've taken time out of their day, their materials, they've traveled to be
You
able to
should have
do
just
this, to
said,
work with this
"Hey,
artist.
hey, all artists, can you just draw my leg first so I can put it down and we'll move on?"
They,
Oh
yeah. They
man.
should.
So
They should
Eddie,
know.
what is your favorite kind of drawing to do? Like, is it sketch? Is it like, because I've seen a couple like cartoonish kind of things that I really, really, really like.
Yeah, we're
Billy,
gonna
put
we're
that
gonna,
up.
we're
Put
gonna
that
bring
up.
a couple up real quick, Eddie, if that's okay, and if you wouldn't mind talking
Yeah.
about them for a little bit and see if you can kind of like walk us through what you had going on
Yeah.
here.
Nice. Yeah. Favorite. I mean, favorite. I guess favorite is comic book stuff. That was my first love. That's what made me fall in love with art. Was comic books at a very early age. So you can see that's the you know
Is this a
that's
self-portrait?
yeah. You know, I've picked up a COVID 20 or so I don't look quite as good. But yeah, no, that's obviously you can tell the I think what happened was around this time was I've always drawn superheroes, and I think the Shazam movie was just about to come out or was coming out, and it's top of mind. So when you see it, you think to yourself, you know what? I've never drawn Shazam, and you just kind of throw it down and try it out.
Man, that's to see something like that. Like there's so many different layers, so many different shapes. There's so many different shines with the white, the darkness with the shadows. Just the way that you put everything together and how many layers it takes to do something like that. Like I would always start in the wrong place. I would start on something and I'm like, crap, I need to draw something over that, and I've already drawn this and colored it, and I would be done, and I would just move on.
That I wouldn't even know where to begin with that. I mean, like when I was a kid, I could look at something and
Yeah, just
blows
just
my mind, man.
just incredible work, and to see like how old were you, Eddie, when you really first started putting creation to paper? Like how old were you when you started finding that you had a passion for this level of creativity?
The passion. So how old when I started was very early on. I think that's everybody though. I mean, I think when we're in kindergarten, you bring home a picture and you give it to mom or whatever, that kind of thing. So I think it was pretty early on where I realized I got positive feedback from a parent for bringing home a picture or a drawing like a flower or something, and giving it to my mom, kind of thing. I think is where it started when I wanted to draw. The passion came later. The passion came with comic books. I started collecting comic books. I picked up like a Spider-Man comic and an X-Men comic book, and that was early teens, maybe 12 or 13. I was like, oh, what's this? What's going on here? And it was a book filled with art, but it wasn't only art. It was telling a story. So it was quite literally a next level, and it was fascinating to me. So that's what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to make comic books and tell stories with art, which if you know what you're doing, I guess, and you're really trying, you can do it with a single image. But creating an entire series of images that takes you on a trip, that makes you feel something, that's pretty cool. So that's a whole other thing
And
I've been working on.
I like what you said before about sometimes one image can tell an entire story. And the Commodore and I were just going through your Instagram, and we had another image that we just kind of like unanimously, as I scrolled past it, I was like, well, that's a pretty good one. And then he wrote it
Oh
on our
boy.
whiteboard. So I'm going to bring another one up, and I was wondering if you may be able to talk about this one as well and kind of share with
Possibly
us.
introduce me.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
And introduce the
So
Commodore to this person.
so that okay, that also has many layers. So okay, so I've got another good friend. Her name is Allure Albello. I'm probably massacring her last name, but she had this art show. She's an artist. She's a photographer in her own right. She's very good. She's also a cosplay model. She's been a mystery sketch, and she had a an art exhibit she was curating at a little gallery called Loud Gallery over by Ivanhoe, I think. I'm trying to remember where it is now, but over in downtown area, over by the Hammered Lamb in Orlando. And she needed a couple of images that were, let's say, risque. And this was the first one I did. It was I think it was called, what was the show called? It was something like Better Than Sex. And this was just the first one. It was actually just a real cool little close up, and you can see there's a little something going on the lips there. And yeah, I mean, there's not much to tell. It was basically a fusion of
And this,
of
when
that
I
theme.
looked at it first, I almost got a little bit of like a Punisher emblem on her bottom
Yeah,
lip going down to her chin. Like that's what I thought immediately. I was like, this kind of looks almost like a little bit of a Punisher logo as well. But the detail in this is absolutely fantastic. Like just the thought process and all the different layers to not only put the right color and the right shading, but just all the other. I guess all the other accoutrements that add that
right.
level of passion to the piece itself, which is just so cool. And like when they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, like there's 1,000 words easily that come to mind when I
Yeah,
see images like this.
I'm having to focus
Yeah.
on not like
The,
puckering up as I look at
the
this.
idea
Like,
the idea was the
hi,
idea was not to have it be
Hello.
enticing and yet poisonous, right? Because it's a poisonous kiss. There's the death on her kiss, that
Yeah.
Punisher thing
Hey,
with the skull. But it was also I think
I
with
had a feeling.
yeah, there those were three pieces. As a matter of fact, I named those all after songs. I was trying to remember which one that one was called, but oh, it was now I'm not gonna it's not gonna come into me now. But yeah, that was like there's a series of
That's all
three.
right, man.
So if it comes to me, I'll just blurt it out later when we're in the
Man,
middle of something else. So
you were referring to an image before that you thought was on your was on your Instagram when I was you said that Constantine was floating that drink. So I found that
yeah,
image. Um,
there it is.
and
Come on.
so pretty much what actually existed in real life was just Constantine sitting on the stool holding my hand in the air. That's it. Everything else was from Eddie. 100%. The glass, the cigarette, the smoke, the bar, the bartender, everything else was manifested. And I want to say this was kind of like imaginary. So they gave the artist, they just said, put him in some type of environment. Where
scenery.
would you see him being? And
Mm,
every artist put the character in a completely different environment. So this is the environment that Eddie put John Constantine in, which is
nice.
sitting on this, just using a little bit of his magic, his creativity to float this drink, and then just kind of sitting there as John Constantine, brooding, not loving the world.
Eddie, I like to think that all that scotch made it back in the glass.
Absolutely. Yeah. John Constantine
Constantine
does
wouldn't
not
waste
waste
that scotch.
scotch. Yeah, there's no way. There's no wasting
Yeah,
that
all
scotch.
right.
There's no way.
So it
Yeah.
was so that was my introduction to Eddie, was these. And as the model going in, you're kind of on stage in front of people that you don't know, expressing this kind of this kind of passion in an environment that I had never been in before. And Polino was really nice. He was really super super professional. And when I got there, all of the artists introduced themselves. They all thanked me for coming out. They were all so professional and so welcoming that it kind of took that edge of nervousness away before the show even started. So it was like, okay, let's do. Then you have a costume change. So I did John Constantine, and then Polino knew I was a musician, so he was like, "I bring your guitar and dress as Billy Floyd, the musician, when John Constantine is up." And I was like, okay, great. And then I was outside with our friend Vanessa. You've met Vanessa Banky. Um,
I didn't know her name was Vanessa.
yeah, so Ferrano, I believe. So I was
Yes.
outside, and of course I have my
Spanky.
guitar with me. So she comes out and she sits down at the table, and I said, "Hey, if you sit here, I'm probably going to ask if I can play a song for you." And she was like, "Oh, please do." I was like, "All right, cool." So I played her "Drifts Like Clyde." She's like, "Are you going to play in there?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. If they ask me to play, then yeah, of course, I would love to play." So going through the end, when we were nearing the end after the 15-minute one, they were like, "Hey, can you play a song?" I'm like, heck yeah, man! I think I played Walking Man that night, which was really cool because the Falcon is such a beautiful place, man. The Falcon was absolutely fantastic. It quickly became one of my favorite downtown spots to go to. Like everything was
Yeah.
super super cool.
Yeah.
Eddie, one more
Yeah.
question, completely off subject, because
Yes.
I'm fascinated. Are those bone conductor headphones?
Yes. Yes, they are.
Those are so cool.
Yeah. Goes all the way around the back.
That's
Pretty
all I
sweet,
had.
huh?
That was it.
No.
Man, here's
Yeah.
here's another one I'm gonna put up just because like I can look at your artwork all day, Eddie. Like this is
Oh,
super super chill, man. I
that's
really
an
I
old
really
one.
like this, and just the emotion that you're able to what you're able to do. And of course, everybody knows this character. They know exactly where it comes from. And I love how Eddie's able to capture the maniacal aspect of the Joker just in his eyes. Like you don't even have to go anywhere else, and you can already see just the craziness in his eyes. But if you move out and you take a step back and you start to take in the rest of the piece itself, you just see level after level the ha ha on the background,
He's
like
drooling.
drooling and dripping. He's in the straight jacket,
Gross.
just leaned over, just absolutely in his element. And I think that's one of my favorite things about what Eddie's able to do is he's able to take one picture and this entire character and not only capture them as a person, but create their entire environment and have the person and the environment and the character work perfectly with each other.
So here's an interesting question. Do you ever incorporate some of your own emotion into the facial expressions and the emotions that the drawing picture portrays? Like, were
Oh
you
yeah.
feeling a little insane when you drew that?
Uh, yeah. Funny story. That's a really, really old drawing that came back many years later, kind of like this mystery sketch.
Uh-oh.
Sketch. So it's hard to remember where my mind was at that time, right? But without a doubt, chances are, if I was drawing it, I was feeling it. So yeah. Yeah, there are plenty of moments where I
Hmm.
guess, like anything else, if you're feeling something, it's same thing when you're writing a song, right? Depending on how you're feeling that day and what is dominant in your mind, right? It'll feed whatever you're doing. So there are plenty of pieces in there. If you sense emotion in a piece, chances are at that time I was feeling whatever that emotion was. Yeah.
All right. Well, Eddie, I'm not going to ask you what you were feeling when you drew the green lips then. I'll leave that one alone.
I have
I
to bring up
appreciate
a
that.
comment right here. SkinnyGram1 says, "Mad skills to coloring that on your phone." And we were talking a little bit about before is what kind of mediums do you use? Do you do pencil work? Do you do sketch work? And what do you do digitally?
So okay, so this kind of like it's what is it? The mother of invention is necessity. Is that how it goes? I'm not sure. Um, Basically,
Tonight it is.
like yeah, right. So like okay, so that sketch is a very old sketch that I had hanging around, and what I discovered is that uh, on my phone I have a Note 9, and if you know Samsung phones, the only reason I have this phone is because it comes with a stylus. So it's kind of like I mean, it's like I'm on the phone, so I'm not gonna do it, but it's about that big, right? It's about the size of a little worn down pencil. And I discovered this really cool app called Autodesk Sketchbook. So I started taking pictures of old sketches and digitally inking and coloring them, which all the stuff that you see colored in there, 90% of it has all been colored on my phone. Uh, the cool thing is, right, because I can't always sit down at this desk. Uh, I work full time. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I mean, you got stuff to do on a daily basis. So I got to carve out time whenever I can. So, during a lunch break or, sometimes during work, I mean, don't tell anybody, but I'll sit there and I'll kind of start to color or work on little things that are kind of itching in the back of my head that I got to work on. And it allows me to continue to be creative and have those mini breaks at work, right? Like little mental time, right, where I can get away, and it allows me to keep creating, which is cool. But yeah, it's all on my phone. I basically I can enlarge and
Crazy,
shrink
man.
the image as I need. It's got the Autodesk Sketchbook app has everything that say Photoshop does. So when you're talking about layers before, that's exactly what they are. They're layers. I can lay down a color and then I can lay down a layer on top of that to create a shadow. I can lay down the layer. That Joker image somewhere, my best friend down in Miami, his name's Ruben Diaz. He's a great writer. He and I have collaborated on a lot of stuff. And somewhere down in Miami, I think in a frame is the original art piece of that Joker that I drew more than 20 years ago. And I found it. I found an image of it or a picture of it. And I thought, you know what? This guy needs color. So I dropped the color in there and I started to ink it. And then I said, you know what else he needs? He needs a background. And that's when I dropped that in. And then I said, well, if he's going to have a background, we got to make it gross. And that's when I started putting in the blood. And you can just add layer and layer and layer of different kinds of things to create that full picture. So.
If you were going to add anything else to that, what would you add?
I want to say something funny.
Quick,
I don't have
less
anything.
than a minute.
Right? I think what I would do is, what I've always wanted to do is, you know what? I've always wanted to shrink it and make it like you're looking through the door of the asylum. So I want to, right? Like I want to make you, who's looking at this picture, not so close to the Joker, but I want to pull you all the way back like you're looking through the door. So almost like a dirty window scratched up, maybe with a little like a metallic kind of like reinforced metal or plexiglass or whatever. I think that's what I would add. I would add the door, but I'm not going to touch it. There's no way. I can't.
I thought for a second you weren't going to come up with anything.
Oh no! Give Eddie a second. He's got all the answers.
Give you like 3 seconds, bro. Nice job. Nice job.
There's one of my favorite quotes.
Everyone who's just joining us, this is Eddie Beis, the wonderful artist. He is passionate, and what we are here to do is to inspire others to be passionate about stuff. I forget.
Yeah. There was Eddie, we talked about this one piece before, and I really loved your answer to this when we were discussing pre-show. And you were talking about how the Mystery Sketch Theater was going to have to be virtual because we weren't able to travel. We weren't able to do anything. And Plino reached out to a bunch of different artists and cosplayers and was wondering who wanted to take part in it. And a lot of people had signed up to take part in it. And you were having trouble deciding which artist to draw or which performer to draw. So you decided to draw all of them. Which was super, super cool. So I wanted to bring this up and kind of have you chat about how you made that decision. Like when you made that decision, because normally they would pick one person to do, one creator, one artist, one performer, one model. But Eddie was like, nope, I'm not picking one model. I'm going to draw all of them. So the next thing I know, within like a day or two, Eddie drops this piece, which is a collection of every single person that offered to be a model that night.
Here's what I think happened. He was like, well, I got to draw Billy because he's a cool guy. He's my friend. But every single other woman here is gorgeous and beautiful, and I want to portray all of that all around Billy at the bar with a snake. Is that what happened?
That's as good as answers I'd come up with. Yeah. I mean, that's... yeah. Really,
man, and I really like how you had come to that. Oh, you're up, my man.
I was going to say, really, part of it is that I know so many of these people over my time at Mystery Sketch, and they're all amazing people. And I wanted to draw all of them, but I can't. You don't always have time to do everything you want to do. Obviously, I'm telling you, I'm drawing on my phone sometimes. So. Yeah, so it really did start with technically it started with Amber. Amber is the one with the snake on the end. I thought, well, she's surrounded by the snake. What if everybody's hanging out with the snake? So the rest of it was just trying to see who's going to be the star. And Billy ends up in the middle. Of course, Billy's, he's giving it the little coochie coochie coo under the chin. And then it was working everybody else in. I mean, honestly, the people who I guess got the short shrift, right, who got the raw deal were the people who I don't know as well. Because I know Amber, and I know Jana, and I know Megan, and I know Billy, and I know Kaluos, Sarah, who's next to Billy, and I know Josette. All these people are really awesome people. And I think the two on the end, my goodness, I know it's Frankie in the hat, and I don't think I've met the one person that was on the end. I'm trying to remember her name now, and I'm at a loss. But yeah, it was a matter of working everybody in because everybody's so cool. I wanted to honor everybody. So yeah.
And how cool is that? how long did this piece take you? Like from conception to what we're seeing on the screen now? Because I understand that it may not be completely finished because we're never really done. But how long did it take from conception to what we see right now?
Yeah, there's a great quote. There's a great Leonardo da Vinci quote that I saw somewhere that says, "Art is never finished; it's only abandoned." And this one was abandoned because there's too much to do. If you let me, I'd probably get into the whole bar in the back and everything. It took about from idea to ink, um, probably about 3 or 4 hours total, right? And that's because I went through a
Oh
couple
my
of
God.
sketches. I went through the first sketch. I had to work through the first sketch, and I was like, okay, not everybody's fitting. And then it evolved, and I was like, hey, I got to get a different angle so I can fit everybody in. So I need a long angle, and somebody's going to be in the back, and unfortunately, Jana's going to be behind the bar, but that's fine. But what I really wanted Megan kind of petting. I wanted Billy in there doing the thing, right? And then everyone else, I'm like, sorry guys, you can't pet the snake. And Amber was the catalyst, so she got to be in there obviously right away. But it was tricky, man. It was tricky. It took a couple of tries. So
Man, that
3 to 4. I thought you were gonna say like 3 to 4 weeks or something.
I was thinking
You're like
maybe days, but I
3 hours.
because after the event, it was like 2 days later he posted that. So I knew within
yeah,
that short period of time, and like he said, he's an artist. He takes commissions. He's a dad. He's like got all this stuff going on. So not only is he firing on all cylinders to create incredible stuff and memories like that, to be a family man, to be a leader, to be a guide, to be a friend, but then he's creating these incredible pieces of art. And like I was telling Eddie, like
Well, he
the
has to finish them in 3 to 4
man,
hours. He's got all that going
the
on.
day that I saw that
yeah.
hit the web was I was having a pretty tough day. It was just one of those. I was just it was a tough day, just like mentally, emotionally, and I was just feeling funky, and it wasn't the good kind of funky. It was like funky, But when that image came out. And I saw that I had the smile on my face was so huge. It was so big. And I was like, man, I hope I get to express to Eddie how much he changed my whole day that day. Like you changed my entire day just by seeing that. It flipped the whole thing around, and I couldn't stop smiling the rest of the day. I hope that's what some of our music gets to do for people. I hope that they get to experience a fraction of what I experienced by
Good
just
job,
such a
Eddie.
huge smile. And Eddie freaking kills it. And I follow Eddie. I follow him on his Instagram and on his Facebook. And the dude is absolutely incredible. And you take commissions as well, isn't that right, Eddie?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm taking commissions right now. As a matter of fact, I've got a couple of little projects I'm working on, but I'm always willing to listen if somebody's got a cool idea that they want to throw out. Because some stuff you just can't, I can't resist. I mean, it sounds cool. There's plenty of stuff that I've done with guys like, yeah, Lips Like Sugar. That was the song.
Yeah,
Oh,
we know the song.
thank you. That was gonna bother me all night. Thank you. It was Lips Like Sugar. That's exactly it. So there are plenty of times where people will come to me with ideas, and I just can't resist. I mean, there's like Tom and Dan, the local guys. They'll have these crazy ideas every once in a while and throw them out. And that was back in the day. I haven't done a lot of stuff for them lately, but you can't say no. It's too fun. And even if I have to say no, if I regrettably have to say no, I know so many artists in town that would love to take on a commission that can take that kind of work, and you pass it along and you share the wealth wherever you can, especially when somebody's artist fits the particular thing that you're talking about. So if somebody comes to you with an idea for a logo and you're like, you know what, I pride myself on trying a little bit of everything and doing a bunch of different kinds of styles, so you can see it. There's cartoons and there's comic books and there's some portraits and stuff like that, but sometimes it just doesn't work. And you think to yourself, you know what, I know one guy. I know this one guy who does awesome stuff, and he'll be perfect for you. So you connect those people and make everybody's day brighter, hopefully.
Yeah, and I think you bring up a really good point. Like to be able to network with the community is so much fun because there's so many passionate creative people just in Orlando, just not even in Central Florida. That's even bigger. But in Orlando,
Yeah.
the city itself is so packed with incredible people, and a lot of the people that we've worked with, you've worked with as well. The next and the last piece, because I'll keep you on here all night, Eddie. You're such a fascinating guest. Thank you so. First of all, thank you so much for joining us, brother.
Yes.
Like we we
No
most
problem, man.
certainly appreciate you. And we are getting a couple questions in the chat. How do you price out your commissions, and what's the best way to get in touch with you? So if I wanted you to commission a piece for me, and I didn't know you as well as I know you, how is it? An email? Is it social media? What do you recommend?
Social media works. I'm on Instagram. I think it's in the link, but it's slacker_1, which is a story in itself. Not a very funny one, but it's a story. And I have a Facebook page that's Art by Eddie Beis, which is a little more straightforward as long as you
Nice.
spell my
Yeah,
last name
we've
right.
got both those links up in the chat. We'll most certainly make sure we get those links. We'll get
Yeah.
those links posted up. And one of the last ones I want to
Thank
bring up
you.
to you is a good friend that we've worked with as well, a fantastic creator and a lover of all sandwiches. Which is incredible, man. He's been he's been a very good friend of ours for quite some time. And I just wanted to, we even crashed his kitchen not that long ago. We crashed his kitchen, and I wanted to bring up and kind of focus on our good man Biggie Bencomo, and
Deli Fresh Threads.
and Deli Fresh Threads. You can see Biggie right here being Biggie, being super awesome. Look how happy he is with his sandwich. Look at how happy he is right there with that sandwich, and that is Anthony Bencomo. His nickname is Biggie, but I like Biggie Bencomo just because it just rolls off the lips. It really does.
It's more fun to say.
So what are we actually looking at here, Eddie? It looks like you're creating a little bit of a comic strip for my man.
Yeah, trying to tell a story, right? So, I find Anthony's story extremely inspiring. Dude has got a really cool company and a really cool idea, and I appreciate attention to detail. And his stuff is top to bottom super cool. It's not just T-shirt designs and stickers and all the stuff that he sells, but it's the way that it's presented. I love the idea of receiving a shirt that's wrapped like a sub. It's just genius. So I was inspired for a long time, and I wanted to do something. And I had spoken to him on social media here and there, and we had talked about collaborating. And one day, I mean, as we were talking, it was going to be superhero related because you can see it dominates the majority of my stuff. And it hit me, and I was like, dude, I mean, it's a hero, right? A hero's a sandwich. Let me see what I can do. And I sent him a sketch of my idea, and he loved it. And as I developed it, and I kept sending him stuff, he kept loving it, which fueled the fire to keep doing it until you had this. So really, yeah, it's kind of like fan art. It's my Deli Fresh Threads fan art is what it is.
And so I mean, and I just actually noticed that at the bottom, the actual hero, like his eyepiece is a piece of bread.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
It's the Deli Fresh Threads.
Yeah, it's
guy
the
with
logo.
The wink.
Yeah,
with
the wink.
Yeah.
And the smile. So
That's
can
exactly
you
it.
would you mind walking us through this story that you're telling here, Eddie?
I mean, yeah, it's your basic Batman ripoff. So you can see he's eating lunch at beautiful Lake Eola, and he's not in frame, but he's kind of sitting next to or near Anthony himself, and the sandwich signal goes up. So typical Batman and Superman, right, which are the classics. He rips open his shirt and his jacket and tie because obviously he's a businessman. He's downtown, and reveals his suit underneath. He's a hero, and he zooms right by Biggie himself, who says "Wow!" and knocked his straw hat off his head, right, as he's eating his own sandwich.
Still holding the
and
sandwich.
And he's, of course, well, he ran off with the sandwich. He's not gonna not eat it, right? So yeah, he's taken off in search of whoever needs help in the city of Orlando with his sandwich. I probably should have, in retrospect, now that I'm looking at it, I probably should have had him take a bite out of it, but that might have messed up the smile a little bit. So,
Yeah.
you got to make sacrifices.
And you brought up a really great point when you were talking about his branding and marketing strategy. And you're right.
Yeah.
He's way more than just sandwiches. When we met Biggie, have you been to his house before?
No. I don't think we've ever met in person. I think it's just on social media.
Oh, that's so cool. We were really fortunate. About a year ago, we crashed his kitchen, which was fantastic. And we did a bunch of different sandwiches. Even for dessert, we did the donut ice cream sandwich.
Ooh.
Oh my God. So we get there and he shows us his workshop.
That's ridiculous.
And when I walk in, I'm looking at his workshop, I'm realizing we're in the house of not only a creator, but an entrepreneur. Like, we're not just in the house of somebody that likes sandwiches. We're in the house of somebody that has put so much love and attention into the marketing and the advertising and the branding and the packaging. Like, I love, and you brought it up, I love how when you buy a shirt, it's wrapped in a sandwich bag with the receipt stapled to the outside, just like you would be getting a sandwich.
Yeah.
And like, his creativity is fantastic. We met Kayla Grace through him. And Kayla Grace is another incredible person. And it was so cool to see his workshop. Like, if you ever have the chance, if you ever have the opportunity, man, and you have the opportunity to check out his workshop, prepare yourself mentally and emotionally. Because when you step into that workshop, you're going to be inundated with the level of amazing creativity that this man has in his head and what he's able to turn it into, and to be deli fresh threads. And if you talk to, if you ask him some questions, we actually had him do a guest spot when he made grilled cheese. Remember, he came over to the house and he made some grilled cheese. We did grilled cheesa, which
Nice.
is
We sang a song
which
about
is a
it.
play on a song called
Nice.
Tequila. And he
Nice.
wrote all of the lyrics. He gave it to me. He said, "Hey man, it's not perfect, but I'm going to give you this. This is what I have. Can we make it an entire song?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, brother!" So he wound up singing along with us, but we did grilled cheesa
When
instead
I
of
get
tequila.
grilled cheese.
So he's
Awesome.
so passionate. I love the fact that he's so passionate about sandwiches, and he's
Yeah.
taken his passion and he has turned it into something that has then inspired other creators such as Eddie Beis to create something so in freaking incredible,
A comic strip.
an entire comic strip. Which I love the fact that I wanted to bring it full circle, that Eddie fell in love with creating art and he wanted to create art because of his inspiration of watching and reading comics, saying, man, not only was this an amazing picture, but it was telling an entire story. And he said
Yeah.
he wishes he could get to that point. Well, guess what, brother? You're there.
You did
This is
it.
incredible, Eddie. Like, this is absolutely amazing. And I love Anthony's. Anthony couldn't have been more exciting in his comment. Oh my God, this came out amazing! Like,
Yeah.
That's what the all cap signifies.
oh
the
man,
yelling.
and then 147 exclamation points, which is just it's fantastic. So that's so cool, man.
Eddie, what a treat.
Yeah.
What a treat.
What it like, and Eddie quickly became just one of my favorite people. Like, not only is he an incredible artist, but to watch how he involves and he pours his heart and soul into the community. He really reaches out and he tries to do his absolute best to not only share his passion with the people in the community, but to inspire other people, and then to create, like, for Anthony to see that, I guarantee you the dude wore a smile. He probably still has it on right now from
Yeah.
seeing that very thing. So the way that you're able to inspire people with your art is incredibly amazing, Eddie. Thank you so much for everything you do, my man.
I bet at least one person smiles for the rest of the day every time you make a piece of art, my friend.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just a guess.
Yeah,
But I've been right pretty much the whole night. So
yeah. That's very true, and I'm gonna go ahead and put up his Instagram link again, because do yourself a favor, do your friends a favor, do your family a favor, do Eddie a favor, do us a favor,
set aside an hour,
and head
'cause you're
over.
gonna get lost
Oh
in
yeah,
it.
head over to Instagram.com/slacker_1, which will be a story for another time, my man. We would love to have you back on, Eddie, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. Is there anything additional that you would like to share with our community or share with the people that are here in the chat? Anything you have coming up? Anything that you're recommending? Anything at all?
I want to say thank you to you guys for having me, because this has been really cool. It's the first time I've done something like this, so it's a little bit out of my comfort zone. And I want to thank you guys, honestly, for being an endless source of positivity. Because there are times in today's world where positivity isn't exactly the coolest thing to be, and it's upsetting. But you guys are boundless and energetic, and it's inspiring in itself. So I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you guys having me. And that's it. I mean, I just keep creating, man, because you guys doing your thing is what helps me do my thing, and hopefully, as you've said, I guess me doing my thing helps other people do their thing, and that's the whole point, right? To help each other out. So
100%, man.
We're doing it,
Appreciate it.
Eddie.
And that
We're
was
doing it.
that was
Yeah.
one of the things that we kind of lean on. Like, we do what we love to inspire other people to do what they love.
That's what it is.
And I
Yeah.
think one of the things that some people don't necessarily understand is the second part of that is us watching other people do what they love inspires. what we love.
It's cyclical.
You know, so it's a circle. So to be able to speak and work with creators like you and influencers like you and inspirational people like yourself, not only as an artist but just as a person, you know, it's like take the art away from Eddie Beis, we still have an amazingly intellectual, very motivated and inspirational person. You know, so thank you so much for being a part of our show tonight, Eddie. You really made it magical, man. Like, we love doing the wrap up. We love playing for our community. We love playing some music and having a good time. But having somebody like you come onto the show and share your experience and your story with us, it just takes it to a whole new level, man. We can't thank you enough.
Guys, thank you so much. That's more compliments than I can bear in a short period of time.
The Commodore to grab some new headphones.
Ah, there you go.
I'm gonna look into some bone conductor headphones.
Yeah. They're pretty neat, man. You gotta check them out. They don't slide off when you're running. They're pretty cool. So it's good stuff.
That they're exactly for running, and I don't like things going into my ears.
That's exactly
things on the outside of my ears when I can still hear music while I'm running.
Yeah. You need it nowadays. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. Amen. Amen, brother. Well, Eddie, if you don't mind hanging out in the green room for just a little bit, we're going to wrap up the show with a song. And then if you don't mind kind of chilling for a little bit of an after show after we end the feed, we'll bring you back on. We'll do a little wrap up between us. If you don't mind, that would be really great. And again, a huge, huge shout out. Thank you so much, Eddie, for joining us, man. We got his Instagram up there as well. A couple times we'll also put up his Facebook link. And please, 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 everybody, take a moment from your day, head to his Instagram and his social media, check it out, spend some time, look through his photos. Definitely check out the green lipped one that the Commodore has most certainly fallen in love with. And if you are looking for a commission, it sounds like you can get in touch with Eddie right through his Instagram. Go ahead and shoot him a message. Let him know what you're looking for, and most certainly he will be able to get back in touch with you and see what you guys can work out. Eddie, if any of that is incorrect, please correct me. But I think we got it all right, man. I think
you nailed it. Yeah, you nailed it. It's good.
Sweet, my dude. Sweet, my dude. Right. Thank you so much, Eddie. We appreciate it, my man. And again, if you don't mind hanging in the green room for just a couple minutes, we're going to rock one more song. And then once we end the feed, we'll bring you back in for a little bit of a wrap up.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it. Let's see.
Man, what a super cool dude. Super cool dude. That was
fun.
Man. Eddie's fantastic. And when I first met him at the Falcon, he was, I didn't know anybody when I went there. I didn't know anyone. So it was just kind of like walking into a place where you're kind of vulnerable, and you're modeling and people are staring at you under the lights and just like looking at you.
I don't like being in a place where I don't know anybody.
I'll
just be standing in the corner, like not saying anything.
Yeah.
Please don't look at me.
I didn't really know how to act like when I walked in there, because I didn't want, I don't really know what's going on when I walk in there. I'm just very cool. I try to stay nice and quiet. I just do my thing. I set my stuff off to the side, I let Plino,
I'm not the artist here.
Yeah, I let Plino know I'm here. He saw me coming in. He said, "Hey, man." And then Plino took me around and started introducing me to everybody. And every single person there that night was just super, super cool and very appreciative and really, really nice and really, really sweet. Just some incredible people that I still keep in touch with today. There was a girl named Kimmy that was there.
Were all those women there?
Almost. No.
I like women. And their lips.
Oh man, that is very true. That is very true.
Is that what I highlighted one there? Is that all right?
Yeah, no, that's fine with me.
We played this on Saturday, and I remembered how much I love to play and sing this song.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of finger movement. It's got some cool harmonies.
Giggity.
And it's by one of our favorite artists.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Rob Thomas.
That's
Matchbox 20. This is from his solo album, but this is Mr. Rob Thomas, and it's a great song. Okay.
That's right, baby.
Problem Girl.
Problem Girl. Here we go. Oh yeah, that's not me. That's you.
Yeah, I did that.
Don't let them get where they're going to. You know they're only what they think of you. You've heard of this emotional trickery. You felt like you were learning the ropes, but where you're going now you don't know. the street say, what's your problem, girl? And the waiter that smile gets too much for you to bear. When they all make you feel like you're a problem, girl. You're no problem at all. You're no problem at all. Bright light promises won't let you down. You must be feeling better by now. And you worry all the things they could do to you. You worry about the things they could say. Maybe you're seeing things the wrong way. When the kids on the street say, what's your problem, girl? And the waiter that smile gets too much for you to bear. When they all make you feel like you're a problem, girl. You're no problem at all. You're no problem at all. When the kids on the street say, what's your problem, girl? And the waiter that smile gets too much for you to bear. When they all make you feel like you're a problem, girl. You're no problem at all. You're no problem at all. You're no problem at all. Don't let them get where they're going to. Don't let them get where they're going to. You're no problem at all. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us tonight. And again, a huge shout out to Eddie Beis for joining us. Absolutely incredible, incredible artist. We are so blessed to have had him.
We love you, Eddie.
Hope you guys stay out of trouble. Check us out tomorrow at 12 o'clock. We got a poll going up with 5 songs, baby. All originals. And at Castledor.
All right.
I confirmed it with Zach today. Huge shout out to all of our sponsors. Thank you very much. Be it Castledor Studio. We will be there this Wednesday. Zach is feeling much better. Zach and Alyssa will be in tandem. They will be there rocking and rolling, baby. So we're really looking forward to seeing those guys on Wednesday. And again, you can check out, look at Eddie in his moment, in his space right there, in his just looking good.
You're back on screen.
Looking good, baby.
Looking good.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Just killing it. I like that. That piece is from quite some time ago too, man. I remember that night. That was a good one. That was a good one, man. So a huge shout out to you guys. Thank you for joining us. Whoa, hello, whoa. I got you, buddy. You're good. Wow. You're good. Oh, okay. Luke's up. Okay.
Right. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Luke. Welcome to the show. Monkey,
we're not trying to impose on the guest. I'm sorry. His idea.
That's great.
Oh, man. So we'll talk to you guys soon. You guys stay out of trouble. Peace and love and above all other stuff. Lots of happiness. We'll see you Wednesday at 7:05 live from Castledor Studio tomorrow at noon.
Don't forget to vote.
That's right. We got a poll going up with all original songs. Luke says hello and hi and hi. How's everybody doing? Hey, Bubby. How are you doing? We'll talk to you guys soon. And here's an awesome background for us to kind of mingle with. Hope you guys having a fantastic night. Check us out at patreon.com/KitchenKillaz if you're looking for a way to get involved with supporting us and our project. We most certainly appreciate you guys joining us on our journey. Last but not least, my name is Billy Floyd, and that is
Commodore.
That's right, baby. We're the KitchenKillaz, classified as a touring acoustic duo, crashing kitchens around the country. We do it every Friday, and we do it
for free.
That's right. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye,
Have a great
guys.
night. We'll see you then. Bye.